Hey everyone, I'm Fiona. This is Naomi.
Hey.
And we do a lot of two piano four-hand music together. We performed like back in September, I guess. And I guess we're in this video, we just kind of wanted to talk about what it's like to kind of play a lot of two piano four-hand repertoire. So we have like a few of our scores here. But yeah, Naomi, I guess we kind of know each other since like what, 2006 or 2005?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you want to like
2000s.
introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Naomi. I play piano. I met Fiona at Ravel Valley College at the advanced piano / piano ensemble class. It was kind of a 2 classes in one, taught by Dr. Bruce Cook. And I don't know. I went in for advanced piano. Did you go in for
Yeah. We're
ensemble?
there because Colin was also Colin was also in the class. Or no, he was accompaniment you. And that's how we kind of met.
Really?
I think so.
He was accompanying me for
something.
I'm trying to remember what that was, but
Yeah.
yeah, I do a lot of accompaniment though, so with other instruments.
Mhm.
And so of course all the instruments are different, but
Right. So like so I guess like for the piano stuff, like how did you, like, you've done a lot of solo stuff though, like you've done.
yeah, I got my bachelor's and master's both in piano performance, so I worked on a lot of solo and some concerto stuff, and yeah, so I like working with other people. Like I said, like I work playing a trio.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, I kind of agree. Like there's something like lonely about if you just play by yourself. And so it's like if you are with another person, then it kind of adds more to the harmony, it adds more, I don't know, there's just more interaction that I kind of like. It feels like when I do like solo piano stuff, it's almost like there's all eyes are on me and I'm a little bit like, it's a little bit scary.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I think like you and I played, when did we start playing two piano four-hand stuff together? Like
A year ago, maybe? Was it?
Oh, it was recent. I feel like it was, well, we did like,
Oh wait, well, I brought it back maybe a year ago, but we did
right.
Rachmaninoff.
Yeah, we did like the second piano concerto, like maybe 5 years ago or 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then we played it like Forest Hills Church in San Francisco.
And before that, we did the suite.
Yeah, where did we play that? We played the Rachmaninoff, the suite 1 and 2.
I wanted to say we did that in the class, but maybe no, that was at the same time. That was
okay. Oh, for like Bruce's class?
I think we took a lesson from him.
Oh, I remember we took a lesson with Roger Woodward one time.
Yeah.
We did the suite number 2 in San Francisco State. And he's like, the cantilena, you have to like highlight the cantilena.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Bring up that melody.
Take another lesson, that'd be great.
I know, right? He's very like a Bach fanatic. Like that's like
that's where I got it from.
Yeah, he was like, who was it that compared? It was like the Preludes and Fugues was like the First Testament or the Old Testament, and then the Beethoven sonatas is like the New Testament.
Wow,
that's what we compare them to. It's like a very important set of works that, every pianist should like know. And like Beethoven knew all 48 Preludes and Fugues by Bach, like when he was like memorized, like when he was like 12 years old. Like I'm still trying to learn, like I think I've only learned like 4 or 5.
Yeah, it's an arduous task.
Yeah, but so we played a lot of two piano four-hand works like in the past, like a long time ago, and then we just like recently started bringing it back and started doing the live stream thing back in September. And we're like, we're gonna try this, we're gonna see if we can like just do it right from the studio and bypass the venue and just see what happens. And it was kind of a lot of work, like the promoting and stuff, but the live thing was fine. It was just like, because you have no feedback, there's no like, you can't tell if people are clapping or like booing.
Yeah.
So it's
Claws
like,
machine.
yeah, you just have to kind of like trust your gut and just focus on the music. But it's really weird just having an audience that's like in the ethers on the internet somewhere on, maybe across town or something. And then you're playing music here and it's being recorded and then they're hearing it slightly delayed. But yeah, I think I guess we have some like pieces we could kind of share with you guys. Like we did like the Dolly Suite. And so I was like, do you want to talk about it?
Foray. Yeah, I always wanted to play this one. I heard a bunch of good performances, great performances at an old professor, Dr. Victoria Neve at her house. She would have soirees and Valentine's Day soiree and just have everyone over for Thanksgiving and just so I heard this and I don't know, yeah, my teacher was there and he said that was an excellent performance of that. And I guess I go back to my years in college and yeah, so it's cool because with Foray there's not a lot, there's vocal accompaniment, there's not a lot for piano solo. And yeah, well, it's just interesting what you'll find with the two piano or four hands for composers.
Well, Foray is more of a vocal composer. So a lot of his writing is very lyrical. Like he has these long melody lines that are like, oh my gosh, they're so beautiful. And I feel like his harmony, his use of harmony is very French.
Yeah, actually that was a pretty French concert. I think everything on the menu was French.
Yeah, no,
except for one.
We did the Danse Macabre.
Yes,
by Saint-Saëns.
and also Ravel.
We did 3, and then we did the Bach.
What wasn't French? Oh yeah, Bach.
Yeah.
French influence.
Definitely French influence. Well, so the last concert was our Halloween concert, and we're trying to do like the Danse Macabre is like the Halloween kind of style, because it's like a waltz and it has like a lot of numerology, I guess, like 12 strikes of the clock, that opening D. And then just the boom, 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 da da da, boom, bum, 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 bum.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it definitely has that like dance kind of feel. And
yeah, very familiar tune, familiar to the
and
associated with Halloween or so.
Yeah, Dance of the Dead. And it's simple too. It's actually not that hard to play. There's parts where there's like the runs and the chromatic stuff that kind of, if you're playing the whole piece kind of fast, it gets a little bit tricky. Oh, and then the triplets, da 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 da, and then
yeah.
But the way he kind of balances, I think like what makes kind of like the two piano forehand thing so cool is that each piano person can kind of like trade off like the melody or the harmony or something like that. I mean, when you're playing like a 2 people at one piano, one person has to play the primo and the other person has to play the secondo. And so you're kind of stuck where your range is. But if there's 2 pianos, then it's kind of like the composer can kind of trade them off the parts.
We get to find where that melody is.
And then like, let's see. I really liked so La Valse by Ravel, another French composer. And this, I think this version, well, we played the version for one piano, right? We played the version for one piano, but we did it on 2 pianos. The version for 2 pianos is actually a little bit harder, I think. Yeah, it's probably a little bit harder.
Gotten into that, yeah.
But it's kind of cool how this all fits onto one piano. I mean, we
did perform on Walnut Creek.
Oh, that's right. We did like when they're doing like the piano, where they're like leaving pianos out in public in Walnut Creek. We did play at one of the pianos.
They do that in San Francisco, piano in the park.
Piano in the park.
Flower piano.
Flower piano. Yeah, they leave them out. And then these pianos get like tuned regularly, even though they're outdoors and they're kind of like painted too, right?
Yeah.
Different artists will like, put their own mark on the pianos and stuff like that. So we did that. But like some of the keys weren't working. That was kind of frustrating. So Yeah, but La Valse is very, it's kind of interesting because it starts off very like almost like a fog, almost like the when you hear the orchestral version of it, it's almost like it's like a fog that's like building up,
Mhm.
and then like it's like the orchestra is like tuning, and then all of a sudden the dee dum ba dum ba dee dum ba dum, you know, your part comes in with the melody.
Mhm.
And then it kind of goes into that waltz feel. So we have a lot of like stuff in 3/4 time.
Yeah, it's like a crazy waltz.
They're like a waltz on
Like a
steroids.
fucked up waltz.
Yeah, it's just, it gets really chromatic. It like we had to mark all the key changes. So like where it goes from, it will go from like
Yeah, it
what?
changes a lot.
I think I marked it in the other score.
Time signature stays the same.
Yeah, time signature stays the same, but like the key changes are like, I remember having to like mark this in the score. Actually, I think it's in this version right here. Because otherwise it's like, what? I thought I was playing this D sharp. Oh, it's not there anymore.
Yeah, I definitely mapped that out on the phone. I wrote in my notes. Okay, we're going to have to kind of like sit back and look at all the key changes.
Yeah, and then like I had to, because it's like a lot of times it stays in a key for a very short amount of time. So then like you have to write all these like courtesy accidentals of like where it kind of reappears again. But yeah, so we did that one, and then we also did the Bach, the Goldberg Variations. But we only did the first 12, right? Or no, we did the first
5.
First, no, we were, because we were going to do another one that was like the first 12. So we did the Goldberg Variations that's been arranged by Max Rieger. And that's kind of cool because like the Goldberg Variations are, there's so many lines of counterpoint kind of happening at the same time, kind of like a fugue, but you know, with you know, 2 people, you can kind of really bring out those different lines. I think.
Yeah.
Well, you've played the Goldberg Variations, right?
Actually, I haven't.
Oh, you haven't? Okay, so
it's new to me, and we've got a long ways ahead.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
We'd like to work on all of them.
With the repeats.
With the repeats, exactly. And it's interesting because they don't always add the ornamentation in them. And so I guess that's like up to us to kind of add those in. Whereas when Bach wrote the variations, he clearly wrote in the different ornamentation. Oh, here's suite number 2.
Yeah, that's important.
We actually did the Hungarian dances. And these were kind of fun because they are like, how many of them are there? There's like 20. No, there's more than that. I think there's like
about 22,
21. So there's 21 dances, Hungarian dances that Brahms did. And he would take like a lot of these melodies were already pre-written, but he would kind of like harmonize them and kind of make them, you know, kind of more his own.
It's amazing. Brahms,
right?
That gift for you know, variations, you know.
But they're very catchy, like they stay in your head, you know, like
definitely. Another quite familiar melody, maybe as familiar as the Dance Macabre, but
right? No, just a lot of
5,
these.
yeah.
Oh, dun 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 dee da da dum, ba ba da dum,
widely
used,
Looney Tunes, etc.
Yeah, a lot of these Hungarian dances were actually featured in cartoons and stuff. And so we got to kind of I just feel like it was music that like a lot of people were receptive to. You know, a lot of times like we'll play music and it's a little bit like people will have a hard time kind of connecting with it, you know. But I feel like the Brahms, it was just people could just kind of follow along because it's just like 1 and 5 chords. There's more than that. There's more, of course,
with the variations, it was and, you know, and it's been done, you know, violin and other instrumentation, and it was amazing how many variations Brahms could come up with. You did fast, you did slow, articulation changes, time signature changes, there's a
Yeah.
form, minuet, da capo, and yeah, so learning all those with all the repeats, right? I think
We did them
maybe
all with
without
the
the,
repeats, I think.
not in the da capo, I think, but
Yeah, but these were short. I mean, each of these
Mhm.
is like 1 to 2 pages long, sometimes 4 pages long. And they have varying tempos. And one of my teachers would always say, like, oh, Fiona, how are you choosing your tempo? Like, what does this tempo really mean?
Yeah,
You don't want to
and
just listen to a recording and copy their tempo.
nope. Yeah, a lot of push and pull too. I
Right,
think.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, without that, then it might not be so familiar,
Right. I'm just looking at my notes that I wrote in here. It's like
Yeah, and for me, just like with the pedaling too, I
oh, right.
kind
Because
of try and organize that, for the different variations
yeah,
there.
you're pedaling for the other person too. Because
Yeah.
these are all for one piano. So it's 2 people at one piano that are playing this. I'm writing, this is for the first dance. I said sparkle at the top, but disappear, and then arpeggios sound like different instruments. Oh, that was another thing, is like, how does each part is a different group of instruments?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, we had a lot of like, so we have like, I'm playing for one measure 6, and then you're playing, you're still in 2, and but you're playing a dotted quarter with a 8th note, and then I have a sextuplet, so it's supposed to sound kind of funky, but you gotta make it sound like you're not making a mistake,
right, you got to make it sound intentional. Oh, these parts, like a da-da-dum, ba-da-dum, 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 ba-dum, bum, bum, be-da-dum, ba-da-dum, be-da-dum. Compress, not not goody two shoes. It's like your partner is laying down the beat, so you're laying down the beat and I'm kind of doing the ba-da-dum, 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 ba-da-dum.
Yeah, and where to place the accents also.
Yeah, so Brahms was an interesting composer because he would do, remember like the hairpins? He would like have like he would do weird stuff with the hairpins, like it would crescendo to like a pianissimo or something. I forget what it was.
I love that.
It's like, what does he mean? Getting louder to a soft, like,
yeah.
But it's almost like more of a feeling, I think. It's like, not that he's trying to have you perform something, but what's the feeling behind it that it's trying to get you to
He
feel.
definitely, pulled out all the stops here, and as expected with this amount, large amount of music, and so that's why we had, all this integral, the pedaling, accents, dynamics, push and
Right.
pull, ritardando, accelerando.
And
all
then
of that.
like at this big point, the bum 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 ba da 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 dum ba da dum. That part, like, think like that's an ensemble. So like all the instruments are kind of playing together at that point. And then it's almost like to set up, if you were going to change the tempo, we have to go to it's the beat right before you have that tempo change. That's like going to slow down. So the bum be da dum bum bum ba dum. So you would kind of set up that tempo change like the beat before. If that makes sense. Yeah, so we did the Brahms, the Hungarian dances. We also did the Schubert.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Fantasy. That one was really beautiful.
Yeah, I like that
one. So Naomi had the melody in that one. I had I can't find the score right now, but so I had the more of the accompaniment. So I'm doing all the pedaling, but I'm kind of pedaling for both of us. So I have to think, well, if I'm just pedaling for myself, then the melody is gonna get kind of too dry. It's not gonna really carry through.
Yeah, that one actually, I learned your part at first. I was learning it, and then was playing the other part,
Uh-huh.
and so yeah, me to change to that. At first it's okay. Well, first of all, it's Schubert, so
Right.
it's all in one movement. It's quite lengthy, a
Mhm.
lot of we did the repeats, and so that was a nice learning, because I knew a little bit how her part starts, and then but it's
Mhm.
really like it starts from like a seed, and then it's like this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like you have to kind of learn both parts though, I feel like, just because you had my part was on the left and your part was on the right. So it's like you have to kind of know what your partner is playing. Otherwise, you're going to be a little bit like clueless, I guess.
Yeah, it's yeah, first day learning anything. And then yeah, so because what I mean by like starting out from a seed, it's the melody, dun, 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 right? And then I think he just has you double, dun, dun, playing the same thing in both hands.
Right.
Just one line of melody, no chords, you know what I mean? Just
Right.
no counterpoint or anything. And then at the end, by the end, you're hearing a bunch of things,
Yeah.
big
Yes.
old coda, right?
Yeah, because it kind of builds up. I think like Schubert's one of those composers that you kind of don't know where a piece is going to go. I feel like it's kind of unpredictable. Like I feel like Beethoven, Mozart, you kind of know the trajectory of the piece. But with Schubert, it's always kind of like he always throws in that surprise in the piece.
Yeah, I don't think Schubert is for everyone. This because it's so long.
That piece is like 40 minutes, 45 minutes long.
You got to be enjoying it, and then of course a lot of people do. Yeah, it's just Schubert wrote a bunch of amazing things in his short life,
right?
And I could say he's kind of lived under the shadow of Beethoven. He died 1 year apart from Beethoven. Died in 1827. He died in 1828. And if you have a Beethoven around, then you're not going to be you're stuck. So but he did write a lot of great music. A lot of it's all it's vocal. It's we wrote Lieder, Schumann, and so you can definitely hear that this singing in his melodies, the cantilena, right? And yeah, I love Schubert and his pieces in major and minor, and what Schumann said, the heavenly lengths. So I thought that was a good way to describe his music. It's like a very long movie that's great. It's like it's not when is it gonna end, how is it gonna end,
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Like you kind of like I just felt like when we were working on the fantasy, it was like it would even like knowing it, like playing it over and over again, I would still kind of be like, oh, what's coming up next? I would kind of forget what happened because it would just kind of surprise you.
Yeah, and if you play Schubert sonatas and etc., you'll notice that a lot of the it doesn't fit the hands very well. Like it's not really like a Mozart you can just bust out with a scale or arpeggio,
right,
cut and paste. But it's like
right.
Some of his passages, there's like a little bit of a struggle. But yeah, this is a famous piece. This was featured in Madame Suzatska, right?
Oh yeah,
seen that?
Yeah, Madame Suzatska with Shirley MacLaine.
Yep.
Really good movie. Highly recommend it. We watched it for several of our piano parties.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we have like a list of piano movies that we would like shine.
Oh yeah, did we watch that?
I know a long time ago.
Really? Was I there?
Yeah, probably
no, because I just watched that like a year ago.
Really?
Yeah, I have it now. Somebody gave it to me, but
crazy.
yeah, I did a review on it for
oh
zine,
shit.
Well, I should have watched it a while ago, because my teacher's in the movie. So,
Right, Roger Woodward
yeah.
is in the movie. Yeah, that was a movie I saw when I was like a kid, and that kind of made me want to learn the rock three. And that's kind of like this cliche, everyone sees David Helfgott like learning the rock three, and they're like, oh, I want to tackle this piece.
Yeah,
but they don't
so
realize.
Joaquin said, like, the movie came out in the 90s or something. Someone told me not to watch it. So, well, yeah, Hollywood, I don't know. There's a criticism or something. I think I was reading a book by, was it a Rosin book or something? And he he's like a certain Australian pianist who plays the rock, and everyone, I don't know, but yeah, no, that was, I just, after reading my teacher's book, and his life, and wow, yeah, so yay, Shine.
Yeah, Shine. We also watched like just thriller movies in general.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just like, it'd be like a vegan potluck, and then we'd like all like share pieces that we were working on and that we wanted like feedback on, and then we'd have our vegan potluck, and then we'd watch our movie.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, I guess, what is our plan for
vegan potluck?
I know, like, what's our plan for the future? Well, we have that Dave Brubeck piece.
That's right. Yeah. I'm gonna chip away at that.
The Dave Brubeck piece. We were going to do a Christmas thing, but we decided it was just too much going on for Christmas, and people
Christmas
are traveling.
rehearsal madness, and
and you're playing with like 3 different.
Just the main thing this Saturday, if you guys want to come to Old First on Van Ness.
What date?
It's the 8th, January the 8th. Old First.
Okay.
And a trio will be playing there. All living composers. That's a first for me.
Right.
And we're all kind of like our homies, except for Aho, which you know who that is.
But yeah, so it's all living composers. That's kind of cool. Like, you guys did what was it, women composers thing in San Francisco?
Yeah, that was a while back. Yeah,
definitely. That was cool.
So and then Julie, so I'm gonna play her piece.
Oh, nice.
This Saturday. Yeah. And Emma too. Oh, I guess you didn't meet, but they have a women's cooperative called Helia. Yeah, and it's her. It's Julie, Emma. I'm not really quite sure, but so we have 2 female composers.
Oh, nice.
Julie's husband also, Brett Eastman.
Oh, yeah.
Juan Kim, Asian American composer. The Aho Finnish, and Kyle Hoveter. I played one of his pieces, and we performed at Center for New Music. That was interesting. It was piano, violin, clarinet, and cello, and vocals.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I played in that without the vocals. That became popular too to write for. Have you written anything for that ensemble?
Not really.
Piano, cello, violin, clarinet.
Yeah, no, I have not.
That's taken from Messiaen though. That's we played Quartet for the End of Time.
That's a beautiful.
Those are the only instruments he had at Prisoner of War camp. Yeah, so my instrumentation is kind of interesting too. I don't know if you've written for that. We're called slow wave and the reason we're called that is because because our clarinet player also plays bass clarinet, which is intriguing to some composers. Like, ooh, got access to that. Yeah, and viola, so a lot of people, it seems to have kind of written in a style of a violin, sometimes the pitches go up very high, the violist not used to that. And so, but yeah, she's awesome. And so come check it out. January 8th. Yep.
What time again?
I believe it's at 7:30. It's on
7:30?
the interwebs.
Okay, yeah, maybe we'll post a link below.
Yeah.
But yeah,
After that, then we'll be get back to the books, hit the woodshed.
yeah. I think it would be cool if like we did like a spring concert. That way, Dave Brubeck grew up where we grew up.
Oh yeah, he's
Concord.
Concord.
So
Concord AF.
yeah. So we gotta represent Concord and play one of his pieces for 2 pianos. And then we're also gonna try to tackle the Rachmaninoff, the Suite Number 2, which we played, but we let go of it for many years. So we're coming back to it. I think that's actually good, like, learning a piece and then kind of putting it away for a few years. Because then you kind of come back to it and it's like, oh, like this is easy. Like you have to still relearn it in a way, but it's like it kind of fits in your hands easier.
It'll take a new face too sometimes. And
right. Yeah, and then like the Bach, doing the first 12 variations. So yeah,
it is Rachmaninoff though, so it's difficult.
It is difficult. Yeah, I find
small hands.
I find Bach more difficult than Ravel.
Oh yeah.
Like, because fingering is so important with Bach, so you have to like meticulously. I don't know if you meticulously write out fingering, but like for Bach, I have to. If I don't, then it's like
you're tripping.
Like you're like doing acrobatics over your fingers. Like you're not really like
you run out the fingers
like
there.
Everything has to be planned. Like if I need to use my left hand to play certain notes or certain passages, then I have to.
Oh, it's like naked. It's not like Ravel. You can like just put a bunch of like pedal and stuff on top, and
right. You can't just add the pedal and like blur it together.
Bunch of forte on top or something like. Yeah, the nuances. I guess that was it. Like we mentioned the future. If you were gonna
yeah. So sometime in the spring we'll do like another 2 piano 4-hand concert where we'll stream it again. So
sorry about Christmas.
Sorry. You guys were bad this year. No, we just got so busy. You're playing with like a million trios and quartets.
Stop saying that. Stop saying
but yeah, everyone else is probably busy, so we're just like let's just save it for springtime, and that way we can really promote it and get the word out. So yeah, we'll be selling online tickets and stuff like that, in a few months from now. Cool. All right,
see ya.
We'll see you guys. Bye.